My name's Zach Moyer. I'm an associate professor of music here at the university. And myself and Cameron and Fiona, who I'm going to introduce you to in a minute, we're talking about doing something like this for a wee while. And we were kind of really interested in the ways in which we could do it. And what we really wanted to do was just host a small informal gathering to discuss some of these ideas. And we thought we would host a small informal gathering. And what happened was various people got hold of the link, and now it's turned into a guest list of about 300 people, just under 300 people who are going to be joining us as we go through the session, which is wonderful. Absolutely delighted that there are so many people interested in it. And hopefully at the end of this session, we're going to have an opportunity to discuss how we can get together more, how we can get together again in the future and discuss these ideas further. So we did think it was going to be a small, intimate thing. And I mean, to be honest with you, I thought we might get 10, 15 people in a room kind of talking about some of these ideas. And I'm just delighted to see that we've got people from all over the world, people from a lot of different disciplinary backgrounds, and obviously people that are just interested in these ideas and indeed in Paulo Freire himself. So yes, it's somewhat in honour of Paulo Freire, and we've kind of tied it roughly to the date of the 100th anniversary of his birth, which was yesterday. But we were really keen that we didn't want it to just be a kind of autobiographical, let's look at his life and kind of hero worship a specific person. Indeed, we didn't think that would be particularly apt for the ideas that we're talking about. So what we really wanted to do is, instead of it being an autobiographical exploration of the man himself, we wanted it to be an exploration of his ideas and of his legacies and the way in which these are relevant to us today, the way in which we've been influenced by and inspired by the writings of Paulo Freire and those who've come after him in the critical pedagogy tradition, and how that can impact on higher education at the contemporary moment. So you'll have seen from the programme that we're going to start off with some speakers, and then we're going to move on to some panel discussion. I'm going to let Fiona talk to you about that in a wee minute. But what I just want to say is that we've got speakers, all of the speakers are from Napier. Okay, so it's not intended to be a case study of people from Edinburgh Napier University, but that's the way that we set it up, is that we wanted people from these different disciplines, different areas and different academic backgrounds to be able to speak to you about the situation as we see it here, in the hope that we'll be able to go forward and discuss this more with you during the session, and in follow-up sessions, if people are interested, to discuss it further and take it out to the wider world. One thing that I want to be really clear about is that we are very much sharing our ideas and our experiences and the way that we've been influenced by Freire and his writings. What we're not doing is standing up here in front of you as five kind of world-leading Freire scholars. This isn't about a display of expertise. This is about starting a discussion around ideas that we have had, starting a discussion with other people, sharing the way in which Freire influences our ideas, our pedagogy, our course design, our assessment, and approaches to all of the above. So hopefully the vibe can be about dialogue, as you would expect from a session about Paulo Freire. Hopefully it's about sharing, hopefully it's about supporting, and hopefully it's about talking together about how we can transform things for a better future. Thank you all very much. I'm going to hand over to Cameron to say hello very, very briefly. And then Cameron's going to hand over to Fiona after that. So Cameron Graham.
Thanks, Zach. Yeah, I'm Cameron Graham. I'm another one of the co-organisers of this event with both Zach and Fiona. And just to reiterate what Zach said, this came about from a conversation we had in a meeting just around, particularly around Zach and I using the work of Freire and trying to continue that in some of our own research and just in our thinking as well as in our practice. And from that, we thought, just as Zach said, we'd try and get people together, and then interest kind of started to snowball, and then we put it on Eventbrite, and before we know it, we had 280 sign-ups. So I think people will drop in through the day. But again, I think a key thing from what Zach had said is just trying to maybe see what we can build off the back of this. I think, having been in a similar event on Friday, where some of the related ideas of Freire were discussed, there's significant interest in his work, still as relevant as ever, I would argue, particularly in the kind of philosophical vision and some of the practical elements. And this could hopefully be the start of a dialogue that we continue, kind of growing across the sector. And I think as well from us, there's folk in Canada, America, India, Japan who have signed up. So a broad constituency, and the more the merrier for that. And just again, the sharing of ideas and work. So, and on that, I'll just pass to Fiona, who's going to try and pull a lot of things together for us.
Okay, so welcome. Zach and Cameron have already welcomed you to this event. It's a delight for me to be hosting, chairing, and keeping the presenters organised, I think. So they each have 30 minutes, just under, because want to be able to introduce them, because that will contextualise a little of what they're talking with you about. There won't be a chance for questions at the end of each presentation. That's really important. But what we'd love you to do is, if a question comes to mind as the presenter is talking, please put it into chat. We'll pick it up from chat. And then when we come to the panel discussion later on, we'll be able to draw the questions in. Now, if we get lots and lots of questions, it might be a bit of a challenge for us to address all of them, but we'll try very hard to do that and to pick up some of the major themes. So please do post in chat. We'll take your questions from there.